Hello again and welcome back to StoneHaven Shorts. I am Lorianne and this is Greg walking back there. That's my husband. Now, for those of you who are in Alberta and everywhere else in Canada, you know that wood is very expensive and we were lucky enough to inherit a few pallets. So I have posted on Facebook that we have a few projects in mind. What are we going to build, Greg?
Firewood storage containers.
Firewood storage containers. So hang with us and we'll walk you through it. This is a template of what we are going to build. We built this last year and we need a few more because we have a little bit of extra wood. And tomorrow we're going to be cleaning out an area of our trees that we fear might be causing a little bit of drainage issues. So before the snow gets melting too fast, we're gonna have to cut some trees. So this is what the firewood storage container will look like. And right now he's just pulling apart a few boards. So let's head back there and see how this all comes together. All right, what are we doing now?
So I would have liked to have hammered these apart, take the nails out of them, and then use them, but it's just taking way too long because they're kind of a ribbed nail, as well as it's splitting the wood, so it's ruining the wood. So I'm electing to just cut them off, and I'll show you how easy that is.
Now we have the boards. What's the next step?
Well, I'm just going to build the frame around the base. We use a typical pallet for a base. That way we can move it around with the skid steer and some pallet forks. So when we're collecting the wood, it's easy to move. Once it's loaded, it's really easy to move. So that's why I like to use the pallets and then just build a frame to hold the wood.
And it's a nice sturdy base, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're chopping woods to make the sides.
Yep.
All right. I'd just like to mention that in Alberta it's Farm Safety Week, and although we aren't regulated here at StoneHaven with any occupational health and safety, we do try and be as safe as possible. So let me just go and make sure that Greg has some safety glasses before he chops on. Next phase.
Next phase, I'm just going to cut some of the boards. I think she showed you earlier what the last one looked like.
I did.
If this is the front of the bin, I have those boards about 5 feet tall. The back of the bin, I have about 4 feet tall. That way I can put a tarp across it if I want, and it'll slope the rain off the back. So I actually did miter the top and the back, and that's what I'm going to do. So the miter's the same, so I'm going to cut all my boards. Very easy. Top 2 or 5 feet, back 2 or 4 feet.
Okay. You have the first front 2 done. I see you've laid it out. Working on the back. Now what are we doing? Sorry, we're just mounting them?
Yep. Mount these just with screws in there, and then I'll put a medium support brace across the middle. But I may as well go ahead and mount all 4 of these right now.
Sounds good to me. Ladies, this is for you. You see this? Oh, if I can get there. See those scrap pieces of wood under there? Oh, can you see them? Oh. Don't ever throw them away. Don't ever throw them away. We're gonna make some crafts with those. I've made lots of things and I'll show you what those are like a little bit later. So you said we could use nails, right? But you're just choosing to use screws because you have lots of screws?
I like screws.
Yeah.
I find they hold better. I'm just going to put 1 screw in each one of these. That way when I do some cross bracing, I can level things and square it up.
Okay.
But I'm not building a house here, so perfection is not needed.
Okay, so we have 5 foots in the front, 4 foots in the back. One screw on the bottom. Now what are we doing?
So the reason for that is the pallet is rough 4 feet by 5 feet, so it makes it easy for measuring.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do a cross brace across the front here. It matches the width of the pallet, which is 4 feet, and I'll do a cross brace across the back as well.
All right. All right, we're just going to screw the cross braces on. Do you need me to help?
Add more screws to these. I'm just getting it tacked up, and then once I square it, then I'll put second ones in everywhere.
All right, so we need a couple more pieces of wood, and that's...
A couple more pieces of wood. One I'm going to cut 4 feet long, which will end up being about there, so a bit of an overhang in the front and the back. One brace is here, one brace on the other side, and that'll build the frame of everything. We can infill with a few boards to keep logs from spilling out, but that will be basically the frame. And if we ever wanted to, we could tarp it to keep the rainwater off. And that's what this top brace is.
We could put a little roof on it too, couldn't we?
Well, you could
like
finish it with a roof.
Plexiglass or something, yeah. Okay. We have the boards cut, and now we are tacking on the roof supports. Measuring to make sure everything's level?
Square.
Square, sorry. Okay, so we have a frame. Now what?
Now we just infill the sides a little bit.
What are you
I'd
gonna
like to use these smaller boards off of this pallet just to lay some slats down the sides, so when you throw a log on there, it doesn't roll
They're
out.
gonna roll out. Okay.
And I like to put a couple across the back as well.
Sounds good to me. How are you gonna take the boards off of that pallet? Is it just gonna be a rip, or are you going to saw those ones off as well?
It's either this pallet or one of the other ones, whichever one works with me easier.
Okay. So it looks like we found a pallet that will be a little bit more agreeable. Very thin wood on this one. And Greg had mentioned that you could do it all on 2x4s, but it does make it heavy. So once you fill it up with wood, you have enough heavy as it is, so we're choosing to go with a lighter pallet for the side ones. Okay, so we have the boards, and you're just figuring out the spacing for the side slats.
Yep.
And what is your thoughts on the spacing?
I'm just gonna go every foot.
Every foot? All right. All right, got it all figured out, marked up. Little smaller screws for these, I assume?
Yeah. And of course you drop screws.
And you drop the screw. Real. Last screw. All done?
All done.
Hey, look at that. A wood shelter out of pallets. Tomorrow we're going to be cutting some trees, and we're probably going to fill that baby. Good job, Greg. It's fun doing man stuff.